What's up, adventurers? My name is Platinum Phoenix, and welcome back to Fire Emblem Engage. Last time, we fought a very brash general in a very long stage. And this time, we're going to basically do the opposite. And that will make more sense once we get to the actual stage. But before we get to the actual stage, I want to head back here for our Somniel trip for the day. So, here is our next new mechanic of the Somniel. We are now able to play Wyvern Ride, which if we talk to Vander, we can select Wyvern Ride, and he has to go get Princess Ivy as the only one with an actual Wyvern. And in Wyvern Ride, you fly through a course while shooting floating targets. Try to hit the special targets and aim for a high score. More courses will unlock as you progress in the game.
Which would you like?
Basically, we only have normal right now, but this does technically open up earlier than this. Technically. It opens up as soon as we get Ivy as a unit, so it opens up after chapter 12 of... No, at chapter 12. In the story mode, but because we've been doing Divine Paralogues, we haven't actually had a chance to do this. And the Wyvern Ride is basically just a mini game that you can do in the Somniel. You get like a few rewards, but I don't think any of them are like super necessary. But the way this works is you could basically, you hold down your trigger to shoot, or press any button really to shoot. And you move the joystick around to fire and try to hit as many targets as you can. And we have a few like intermissions between the sections of this. And we have our first example of a special target, which are those shots. Which basically those, as long as there's a line they can follow, it'll always go all the way down the line, making it very easy to hit all the targets in that section. But during these sections, you can actually see that the Somniel is actually pretty big. Also, I brought Ash along with me because you can ride with your Somniel Guardian, and they are very good at hitting targets for you. Come on. One more. That's actually kind of difficult to hit all of them. I was not expecting to hit all of them, and I think this is the highest score you can get on the normal difficulty at the very least. So we'll see what we get for maxing out the score. Get our last look at the Somniel there, and what is our score? Hit 200 standard targets, 6 explosive, 4 chains, and 1 power-up. There are no wilds in this first difficulty, with a total of 211 targets hit, which is the maximum amount of targets here, with 8 target hits from Ash itself, and triple S rank. Also, I love that Ash rides on the head of the Wyvern. It looks very adorable, and is also very funny to see at the very end. So our first reward is you get 100 bond fragments. I think you get that as long as you get SSS rank. And you also get a torch, a pure water, and an HP tonic.
Until next time.
Which seems to be what you always get for getting the SSS rank. So that is the Wyvern Ride. We can't do any harder difficulties right now because, like I said, we basically just unlocked it. But with that being said, all we have left to do is go over the bond and support conversation. So let's go ahead and get into them, starting with Phoenix and Celine.
You're looking a bit grim, Celine. Problems?
Ah, Divine One. Do you remember the tea we enjoyed together the other day?
It was so good that I'm not likely to forget it anytime soon.
It would appear that shipments of those leaves are becoming a favorite target for highwaymen. Changing the trade routes has made little difference. Each day brings more victims.
That's awful.
I am not often called on to intervene directly in matters such as these, but this is an emergency, and no one in Firene knows more of tea than I. So Mother has requested that I handle the problem, personally.
How do you feel about that?
I suspect it may be part of my education. Even if my brother is first in line for the throne, I am still Princess of Firene.
So, what's your plan for dealing with them?
I thought I might drive them off with pranks. Wouldn't it be lovely if things were as simple as they are in folk tales? But real life isn't so pastoral.
No, it's not.
I will show no mercy to anyone who causes suffering to the people of Firene, and I will go to any lengths so that my people may enjoy the peace they are accustomed to. Don't look at me like that, Divine One. This is a duty I must bear. Now then, please excuse me. Action must be taken in this matter, swiftly.
Divine One, I have finished repairing and polishing your weapons.
Thank you, Vander.
I have also prepared all of the materials you will require for the War Council tomorrow. Please do take a moment to review them sometime today.
I'm sorry, but I can't do this.
Do what, precisely?
Vander, do you think I'm unreliable?
What? Goodness, no! We are mortals, and you are the Divine One, our magnificent leader, if you take my meaning. For you to perform lowly tasks that are mine to execute is most gracious but uncalled for.
I'm sorry, but I don't feel comfortable having a servant. That's not who I am.
Ah. Before I was your attendant, I was similarly engaged in caring for Queen Lumera. Your mother, perfect in mind and beauty, never lodged a complaint regarding my services. In time, Divine One, I hope that you will grow accustomed to my work as your caretaker.
I respect my mother, and thank you for your service to her. But I'm not my mother. I'm my own person. I'm capable. I can take care of myself.
I see. My apologies, Divine One. I have pushed myself on you. An old servant's habit, I suppose. I will honor your request and take more care in considering your needs moving forward.
Thank you, Vander. And please, let me know before you do anything on my behalf. There are many times I will need your help, but I'd like to ask for that help.
Oh, Ivy. Did you need something from me?
No, Divine One. Must I require something to remain near you?
No, it's not that.
I see. Then please feel free to ignore me.
I would, but it's difficult to ignore the anger on your face. The Kingdom of Elusia worships the Fell Dragon, doesn't it? If that's the case, I can certainly see why you would feel uncomfortable around me.
You can't imagine how I feel.
If you can explain it, I'd love to understand. It might reduce this distance between us.
True, but we should get used to each other first. We'll talk when we're more comfortable. For now, I will leave you be and worship from afar.
Worship?
What are you doing there, Alfred? Digging another well? Or is this more training?
Something like that. Trying to keep up my health, you know? Yeah. If I train hard enough, then I won't suffer like I used to.
Alfred? What's wrong?
Don't worry, Saline. It's just an attack. It'll pass soon.
An attack? Is it your old illness?
I was doing so well. That part of my life was supposed to be long gone.
Wait here. I'll fetch someone at once.
No, stop!
What? Why should I?
I don't want anyone to see me like this. Not our allies, the Emblems, or the Divine Dragon. I can't let them see this. A weak prince unfit to fight who could collapse any day?
None of them would see you that way. They're far too gracious for that.
But I would still know. And besides, I don't want them to worry about me. As far as they're concerned, I want to be the spirited prince who loves working out. Just let me rest for a while. I'll be fine. Please, Saline.
Very well. But know that if your condition ever worsens, I will seek help.
Thanks. Having a sister like you is true happiness, if you ask me.
That's your idea of true happiness? Don't be absurd.
Well, what about you then? What brings you true happiness?
Nothing.
Really? You've got good friends, you got your health, and none of that does it?
I take joy in those things, to be sure, but I don't value happiness as a life goal. After all, what if I found it? Then my whole life afterward would be spent looking fondly back.
Really? Even if something better comes along?
The possibility that it never will is terrifying. I couldn't bear it. I've always yearned for happiness and saw only misery. Like the day I fled from the castle. If Firene had fallen, or Mother died, or you were lost to us, I wondered, how would I respond? And now this? If things get worse and you have to leave, what will I... How can I...
Hey, I'm not gonna die, okay? I'll be fine if I stick with my training.
You really do have the mind of a barbarian. If only you had the body to match.
I'll get there. That's why I work out. Whoa, Saline, look! You see that four-leaf clover?
Where?
Right by your foot. There you go. A small joy.
A small joy. That takes me back. We often sought such things when we were younger. At that age, I was better at it than you. I wonder when you surpassed me.
Talking to you makes me feel better. Chalk up another small joy for me.
I'm not certain that counts, but I'm relieved to hear that the worst has passed.
Let me make it up to you, Saline. I'll find lots of little joys and bring them to you. I can't promise everything will be fine with me, but we can prop each other up. For Firene.
Yes, Alfred. I will support you in anything. Whatever else happens, we can make sure we return to Firene. Together.
Did you need something from me, Prince Alchrist? I see. You are pretending to ignore me.
I still refuse to forgive you. You know why. How else should I behave in the presence of someone who helped to murder my father?
I apologize for my part in your father's death.
You do?
I know an apology can't heal your wounds, or really achieve much at all, but we are now allies. I think it's important we find what common ground we can and meet each other halfway. That is why I'm taking this crucial first step. I am truly sorry about your father.
Princess Ivy, I used to fear your family and your country. I never dreamed we'd end up on the same side. Life is so unpredictable. It pushes us forward, ready or not. Holding on to past prejudices will only trip us up. From now on, I promise to do my best to find that common ground you mentioned.
Thank you. But you should know that staring is rude.
You're right. I apologize for being so careless. I won't let it happen again.
At least we're looking in the same direction. Perhaps better times lie ahead.
What do you think of the gains I've made lately, Claude? Not bad, right?
Yeah, I'm impressed. Who knew you were hiding so much muscle all this time?
Lord Hector, if you ever need anything, just ask. I'll be the first to your side, faster than anyone.
I'm grateful for your care and all, but this doesn't need to be a race.
All right. Back on the Divine Paralogue screen, we just want to head down here to the Divine Paralogue Underground Passage. And we will begin the chapter.
This place is rather dark. It's scary, isn't it?
Even if there is a bracelet here, it might be hard to find.
Wait, I think I see it over there. Yes, that's the bracelet of the doting sister.
All right, I'll summon the emblem. Soar high, emblem of revelation!
like I've been asleep for ages. Thank you for waking me. I am Camilla, Princess of Nor.
Emblem Camilla, we've come to ask for your help. I'm the Divine Dragon.
I almost can't resist someone who asks for help so sincerely. Almost. I need to think about it, though. Which I promise to do, if you can prove your strength.
You plan to test me, then?
What? Is battle not to your liking? Why, you're as gentle as Corin. Of course, it can be preferable to reach an agreement with words alone. But sometimes that isn't possible. Sometimes you have to fight, even if it's your own family you're fighting.
What do you mean by that?
My sister was torn between those she was raised with and those she was related to. Even while wrenched between Nor and Hoshido, she showed magnificent resolve. She fought for peace and forged her own path, even though others resented her. Is your resolve as strong as hers? I will not settle for anything less.
I'm not comparing myself to anyone, but I am determined. You're welcome to see for yourself.
Well then, I assume that means you accept my challenge?
I do.
No hesitation. I like that. Shall we begin?
Alright, getting into this fight, I want to make sure I have the right unit selected. This is perfectly fine. Basically, this is going to be a very short chapter, if I'm being perfectly honest. And the only units that I really care about are Ivy and Owlcrest, as well as Lynn equipped Owlcrest. And we want to swap spaces, because I want to put you here. I want to put Owlcrest right behind you, and that's basically all I'm doing. And we will start this fight.
Shall we begin? Allow me to start by showing you the power of the Dragon Vein.
This new terrain will give our flying enemies the upper hand. We better be on our guard.
Alright, and all we have to do is defeat Emblem Camilla. So, last episode, I may have ran out of things to say about Hector, who we were fighting. This episode, I have the exact opposite problem. I have probably too much to say about Camilla, and am kind of worried that I'm not going to have enough time to talk all about it, so we're just going to dive right into that. So, Camilla is from the game Fire Emblem Fates. And I said games because it acts more like two different games in one game because of how the different storylines work. But Fire Emblem Fates basically is the story between the warring kingdoms of Nor and Hoshido, like Camilla told us. And Camilla is the first princess of the Kingdom of Nor. She is also either one of your earliest allies in the game, or an enemy for a large part of it, depending on if you choose to side with Nor or Hoshido. In like chapter 4, I want to say. It's very early on in the game where she can either become a really good ally or a really bad enemy. But that's not a person. But her Divine Paralogue, or this Divine Paralogue, is very much rooted in you choosing to side with Hoshido. So that's the storyline I'm choosing to talk about. But basically, right after you decide to team up with Hoshido, there's going to be a long time skip that I'm going to do to not spoil like the entire beginning of the game. But I'm actually going to put you here. But after that long while, the second princess of Nor, named Elise, actually decides to join Corin, which is the sister that Camilla was talking about, of course. And Elise decided to help Corrin try to stop Xander, who is the Prince of Nor, from continuing the fight with Hoshido. Basically, they were trying to fight for peace. But soon after that point, Camilla saw Elise traveling with the Hoshido army and believed that she was being held hostage. So she then ambushed the Hoshido army in a place called the Underground Passage, which is exactly what this place is called. And she fought to try to save Elise from the Hoshido army. She was, of course, then defeated by Corrin and the Hoshido army, because that's how the gameplay and everything works. And once she was defeated, Corrin, as well as Elise, tried to get through to her that they were just trying to stop Xander and Garin, which was the king of Nor in the game. And through Elise's help and everything, Camilla then started to believe in Corrin's basically like faith that he would, or that they would be able to stop the fighting between the two kingdoms. And then she fainted from her injuries that she got during that battle. And the reason I wanted to rush through that story so much is because right here I'm going to use Lyn, and we're just going to end this fight right here.
By my hand.
Talk about one of the shortest chapters in the game. This is literally it. Also, it helps that she does not have 2 health bars because she's not like an armored unit or anything. So it's really nice to just be able to go through, take her out real quick, and end it right here. I literally fought, I think, 1 enemy that whole fight. But that's the fight, and for some reason, Phoenix and Lucina get the MVP, even though it's definitely be Alcrest and Lyn.
Is that enough, Camilla? Do we need to keep fighting?
No, I think you have proven yourself. It is clear your resolve is as strong as I'd hoped. I'll gladly join you. I look forward to fighting by your side.
Thank you.
Of course. I appreciate your sincerity. You might actually succeed in shining a light through the darkness of this world.
Thankfully, I don't have to do it alone. With your help and all our friends and allies, I believe we can make it happen.
Quite true. It is difficult to achieve anything of consequence by oneself. I never could have hoped to defeat my father all on my own. Nor could I have imagined making peace with Hoshido. Thanks to Corrin and all of our family and friends, we were able to change the world. I hope you will always cherish those closest to you.
I will. And I hope you'll continue to share your experiences during our time together.
Of course, sweet child. I would be delighted to do exactly that.
All right, and with that, we have gained the help of another DLC Emblem, so we need to go over her. So, Emblem Camilla. The first thing I want to bring up is I find it really cool that they decided to design her emblem bracelet based off of like her head, her tiara and everything. And I'm pretty sure it's also the emblem, or not the emblem, the symbol of Nor, which is also very cool that they would base it off of that. But getting into her as an emblem is not the greatest thing, because she is, in fact, one of the weakest emblems, and probably my least favorite emblem in the game. Let's start with the good. She works really good on anyone who wants a boost of movement. Mostly because she has an ability called Soar that grants +2 to movement, which is basically just a weaker version of what Sigurd was. So you really have to take that into account when using her. She can help with movement, but not to the point of other movement-based emblems have been able to. She does give you the ability to fly, though, which is very helpful to get across water and fire places. She also grants +3 to HP, +1 to resistance, and +2 to speed. So she can help make units a little bit harder to take out, and a little bit easier to deal more damage with, but it's kind of hard to recommend her overall. Also, her emblem attack of Dark Inferno is just not a great attack because it always will be in a pattern around her and not just like a standard attack in front of her or something. So it's always semi-unreliable unless you have the pattern completely memorized, and it's kind of hard to use because of that. It also just sets the world on fire, so if you want your other units to be able to walk through there, it's just not a good thing to use. And the last thing is her axe is the bolt axe, or her engaged weapon to start out is the bolt axe, which is a magic axe that works a lot like a throwing weapon, but I believe actually does a little bit less damage because the distance part of the axe works on magic, while the axe itself works on strength. So if you're going to use her as effectively as possible, you have to have a unit that's both really good at dealing physical damage as well as magical damage, which is not a whole ton of units. But now that we have gone over Emblem Camilla, I think we are just going to call this an episode. So I hope that everyone enjoyed watching. If you did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Next time, we do our final Divine Paralogue. But until then, happy adventuring!